Good day. In today's video, we are going to look at how to import a text document or a TXT file into Microsoft Excel. So with me, I have a text document which is opened in Notepad. Can you see it's called trial balances of A and B.txt. So in this text document, I have trial balances of company A and company B. So I have combined trial balances of companies, and if we inspect this document, we have headings and then we have our data. So if you look at the headings, we have account number, then you'll notice an asterisk, then you have company, you'll notice 2 asterisks, category number, 2 asterisks, and amount. If you go to the next row, you have an account number of 900,000, an asterisk, the company A, then 2 asterisks, the category number 54, 2 asterisks, and then we have an amount, and it's consistent throughout the information. So basically we have asterisks that are separating our fields in our data, but obviously we cannot work with this because we need to put it in Excel. So I'm going to show you how to import this into Microsoft Excel. The first step that you need to do, we can go ahead and close this. We can open up Microsoft Excel and open up a blank workbook. Once the blank workbook is opened, you can click on File, Open, go to Browse, and look for the destination in which your TXT document or your text document is saved. You will not be able to see it as an option to open because Excel is currently showing only Excel files within this folder. So we need to change this. We need to click on the drop down, and instead of all Excel files, we need to change it to all files. Once you change it to all files, you'll notice that all the files that are in this folder will appear. In this case, our trial balances of A and B.txt. I will click on it, and then I'm going to click on Open. When I click on Open, Excel automatically identifies that this is a TXT document, and it opens up the text import wizard. Okay, so this is the wizard that we are going to use to import this TXT file into Microsoft Excel. So step 1 of 3. If we look down where it says original data type, it says choose the file type that best describes your data. Now if you look at the preview at the bottom, and if you remember that when we looked at this data, we noted that the fields are separated by asterisks. So in this case, this means that it's separated by a character. Characters such as commas or tabs separate each field. In this case, it's separated by asterisks. So this is a file type that's separated by a delimiter. So it's a delimited file type. It's not a fixed width. We can see that there's no fixed width in our columns. So therefore, we will make sure we click on delimited. Then we know from our data that there are headers available. So we will click on My Data Has Headers. Once we are satisfied with that, we will click on Next. When we go to step 2, it says this screen lets you set the delimiters your data contains. You can see how your text is affected in the preview below. So when we look at delimiters, the box for tab is currently checked. We need to uncheck that box because we know that our delimiter is not a tab. We know that our delimiter is an asterisk. So we need to go down. It's not a semicolon, not a comma, not a space. So we're going to check the box Other. I'm going to type in an asterisk in the other box. I want you to have a look at the data preview once I type in that asterisk. Can you see it automatically starting to split our data? When you look at text qualifier, you will click on the drop down, and there are no text qualifiers used in this example. Therefore, we will click on None. Once you click on None, you will notice your data preview is looking much neater. Once we are satisfied with that, we will go to next. And this is where you will actually set your data format. In this case, it will just be general because you have different data formats, you don't have dates, etc. You are happy with this. If you are not happy with this, you will go back. If you are happy, you can go ahead and click on finish. I'm just going to extend the column widths so that we can see what we're working with. Can you see it's looking much neater or much better than the actual txt file? Now we can actually work with it. If I look at these blank cells, see there's nothing inside, I will go ahead and delete these cells, these columns. Okay, now if I look at my data, can you see account number? If you look at the second row, I have an account number of 900,000. But if I look at the third till the 13th row, I have inverted commas and then the account number. Then if you look at row 14, I then have no inverted commas. So basically my data is not yet cleaned up to usable format. We need to make sure that we clean up this data so that we can go ahead and use it. So we know that we need to remove the inverted commas. That's the first thing. And the next thing, if you look at your amounts, you'll notice that you have a decimal that's separated by a full stop. That's your decimal separator. And you also have 1,000 separators of a comma. So Excel's not reading this as a number currently. And if I select multiple cells, and if I go to the preview at the bottom right hand corner, usually Excel will give you your sum and your average. In this case, it is only saying that it counts 4 items. This means it is not reading this as numbers. So we need to clean up the commas as well as the inverted commas. If you have to do this manually, it will take quite a long time. There is a shorter way to do this. We can use the find and replace function. The shortcut for that is Control H, find and replace, or you could go to the home tab, edit in group, go to find and select, and go to replace. Once you get to replace, you're going to tell Excel, go and find all the commas in this workbook, in this worksheet, and replace it with absolutely nothing. This essentially would be deleting all the commas. Going to click on replace all. You'll notice that it says we have made 684 replacements. This is the number of commas that were deleted by the click of one button. Click on OK, and we know we need to remove inverted commas. So open inverted commas, replace with nothing, click on replace all done. We have made 1042 replacements. If I click on OK, can you see our data is looking much neater now? If I have to select that same 4 cells that I selected earlier, Excel is now reading it as numbers. It's giving me the preview of the sum, and it's giving me the average. So now this data is actually cleaned up. You can now work with it. You can create a pivot table. You can create a normal table filter. You can sum. You can work with functions, formulas, etc. The data is now cleaned up. So that basically is how to import a TXT file into Microsoft Excel.